Welcome back to the, well, wherever this is. So, a little bit of a bummer. The video that I was planning to make, I just got word my parts that I've ordered are not going to be here at all in time to make this video, but I still wanted to post something, so I thought it might be fun to show you guys a little bit about how I grew up and what life was like for me. It's interesting. I'm back at my parents' house this weekend trying to get a little bit of work done. It's a good chance to show you the kind of things that I grew up with and the sort of what was in my backyard as I grew up, and part of what probably warped the old head here to think about the way that I think about things. And this is just a quick little example of the things that are just around all the time. They're just here. It's kind of fun because there's always something fun to look at, and there's always something interesting to go through, and because you have things everywhere, there's always critters and stuff that are just running around, and there's all sorts of stuff. And we're walking back a little further in here, and that's it's just a part of life. This is how I grew up. So when I went to my friend's house and there were no cars in the backyard, I was always like, where are your things? Where's your stuff? I don't see any of your things. In any case, today we are working on this thing. This trailer, it has had a leak at some point, and it's really, really bad. And so whatever is in here, all the ceiling and the roof and everything is totally trashed, as you can see right there. So I am going to tear all this out and try to find this leak. The reason this trailer exists is for, I recognize the irony, dry storage, dry lockable storage. It ain't so dry anymore. So I'm going to start back here. I'm going to tear the roof and I'm going to tear the ceiling and the walls down. I'm going to work my way forward, and eventually we're going to have to move all of this crap backwards. In the meantime, I'm going to have to go through that crap and see what it is and what we can do with it. But in any case, I wanted to post something. So this will not be a long video, I hope, if I can control myself. This will not be a super long video. I'm going to tear out this trailer, and I just want to show you guys a little bit about the way I grew up and the things that are normal to me that are very obviously not normal to other people. I have my mask, and I'm gonna get started. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so quick little update. The truck is quickly filling up, but the trailer is quickly emptying out. If you don't know, it seems to me, just studying how it's coming apart, it seems as though, so these trailers are super simple built. They've just tacked together this angle iron. It's hilarious. It's just a square tubing like skeleton build, and they screw some aluminum to the outside and they screw some wood to the inside, and that's your trailer. That's the whole thing. But anyway, things like this, I think, are our issue. I went up on the roof actually to take a look at, just what it looked like up there. Blew all the pine straw off, and what I think is happening is just the glue, the sort of tar, the silicone, whatever it is that they use to seal the roof is just all around the edges coming apart. It's old as hell. It's been in the sun forever, and it's just coming apart and creating things like this. It's pretty rank in there. There's a few spots like that, but I don't really think that's an issue. I don't think that's, going through or anything. But this whole thing was pretty nasty, and it's just getting better by the minute, I tell you. In any case, I've got most of this back end stripped down. I'm trying to pull up all of the wood as well. But now I think it's pretty much time to move all that stuff to back here so that I can keep on stripping up there. But it's pretty cool to see how this thing was built. I don't know, I'm concerned about stuff like that. I'm not sure this is ever going to be a usable trailer again. Probably just going to be dry storage here. This stuff is a terrible pain in the butt to try to pull down because it's just coming in pieces and it's glued in a few spots, and what a mess. But in any case, it's time to move all this stuff, which, here's another piece. Just how I grew up is things like this is just normal. Most of this is Z parts. So there's a intake with both carbs, there's a couple of heads, there's one there, there's clutch and brake stuff over there. So yeah, I'm gonna start moving all of this business, getting it towards the back here. I'm probably gonna clean up this a little bit, but you know, if there's nothing in here to be mildewy and gross, then the leaks probably don't matter too much. But we're gonna have to do some work. And it's funny because this right here was actually wet when I pulled it down, so this is gonna be a good sign for, you know, more of the leaks. But time to keep moving. Alrighty, progress update. I've had to move everything into the back, and I got pretty much the whole thing back here. There's a little bit more to go, but I have got to the real problem. There's leaks, I think, just kind of all down this wall right here, which, you know, that's one thing. Having a leak there is that's certainly one thing. The problem is it all gathered in this corner right here, and I can literally just put my foot through the floor right there. Behind all that business is daylight, and this is what it looks like. I mean, there's not too much left to do. There's just these couple of panels and two of the roof panels, and after that, it's it. After that, we gotta figure out how to fix it. I think that it really just needs an entire new roof treatment, honestly. Go around all the edges with new sealant. Just reseal the whole damn thing. And of course now it's gonna need probably clear back to here. New plywood here all the way forward. But, anywho, keep going. Alright. Well, here's the end of day one. I'm exhausted. Pretty much the entire trailer is stripped. Curious as to why that's the only red panel here. But everything is torn out. There's a couple of these panels in the roof ceiling, but that's it. And all that. That whole front corner basically is just going to get cleaned up with a shovel, I think, because there is no pulling out the panel. But the trailer is sloped nose this direction, nose down. So all the water that collects, all the water that runs down through here, all collects and runs all the way to that front corner. And like I said, I can just put my foot through that front corner, so that's going to be a problem. The roof also obviously is sloping to the front, and so all the water that collects on the roof also just goes right through that corner, right down to the floor. So this one's a mess. We didn't really intend for this to ever be like a car trailer again. It's just storage, but I really don't think this is ever going to be a trailer again. It's just so much work involved. But anywho, this is the end of day one. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. So I'll probably come back out here Monday and try to get some cleaning up done before I go home. Some of this stuff, there's a lot of just scrap over here. There's some stuff that needs to be put with other things elsewhere. A lot of this stuff can just go away, which is kind of the goal. But anywho, I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a shower, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, beginning of day 2. We are back out here. The bed of the truck is full. It's just full. As a matter of fact, on my way up here, I dropped a panel right there. So, beginning of day 2, the goal is to finish clearing out, get you inside so you can see, finish clearing out all of that business. I'm going to get a shovel and clear out that business. And then there's just a couple of roof panels left. You can see right there. Couple roof panels left, and that's not going to take very long, I don't believe. And then once that's done, let me get inside so the camera will adjust. There we go. Try to redistribute some of this stuff. I think I can find new homes for most of these things, whether it's trash or otherwise. And that will leave this trailer mostly empty. So that maybe we can, I don't know, I would like to peel this floor back. I'd like to get this vinyl floor out of the way. And at least take a look at what's under there to see what it might be like. And then, right after that, it's going to be starting to plan how to reseal the roof. It's not super hard, just gotta, never done it before, gotta figure it out. But we made a lot of progress. Let's keep making some. Sit rep. This wall is cleared. A lot of it's on the floor, but it's okay because I have there we go. I have a trash can, a shovel, and a golf cart, and I think we're in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna get all this mess cleaned up. There we go. Gonna get all this mess cleaned up, and it's gonna be time to start redistributing all this business here. There's a lot of business here to be redistributed too, you know? Anyway, keep going. Okay, so that is a wrap on day 2. Everything has adjusted. There we go. Everything has been kind of organized, and I redistributed some of the stuff, but you know, a lot of it's still here because it's just a lot of things needs to be sorted through. Don't remember if I showed this or not, but here is the extent of the damage. Now, I mean, it's rotten and horrible, well back to the fender wells back there. But it just needs to be a watertight box. We're not really going to use it as a trailer, I think we've decided. And so it just needs to be a watertight box. So I think the next step is to come in here. We will pull up all this plywood, clear probably back to about here. Just pull up the whole floor, lay new floor down, and probably not going to put anything back up on the walls or any of that kind of stuff. Close up holes like that, and then reseal the roof, and that's it. We'll be able to put a car in here and it will be out of the weather and watertight. I think that's all we're gonna do. Now, I have to go home and do other things, but I thought that if you made it this far, I want to give you guys a reward and show you some of the other things, some of the other treasures, like these things here. Of course, I forgot the keys, but I grew up in this trailer right here. This was, let me show you. This was the trailer that I grew up going to the racetrack in. We didn't sleep in it or anything like that, but this is, all of my earliest memories are based out of that trailer right there. Now, if we continue to the backyard, the deep, deep backyard, we've got a storage box here. Now, things like this, and right back there, you can see right there, that's good, dry, can be locked up storage, and it's pretty cheap. We're not having to build a building or anything like that. It's just a dry box to put stuff in. So that's normal for me. That is normal, that's what I grew up with. Now, the car that got me into Z cars is right here. I used to drool over this car. I still do. I used to drool over this car when I was a kid, and it's a big, big part of why I like cars now, even. Cars, period, much less Z cars. That's a runner. It's a good car. Just needs little work here and there, but it's a runner, and it does really well. The famous Chariot of the Gods, or the Civic EF hatch. Now this is it's a cool car. This has a ZC motor swap, which is a JDM Integra motor in it, so it's a twin cam now. The twin cam non VTEC, but it's a fun car. It's a great one. Toyota Tercel. My dad liked good gas mileage, so we have a Toyota Tercel back here. Now this is a good one too. I'm not going to pull the whole thing off because it's a pain, but we have here a first generation RX-7. Now what makes this car special, I'll show you back here, what makes this car special is it is a GSLS E. They made this in 85 only, I think, maybe 84. Either way, this is the last of this first generation body style, and when they did this, they made the GSLSE, or the 5-letter, and it's got the 13B in it. Now, that's important because the 13B is what is in the second generation RX-7. The first gens all had 12As. It was the first generation of that motor lineup, and so they decided to make it one more year, and in some of them, they slapped a 13B in it. So this is a super cool car. It's also a runner. It's a good car. It needs some little stuff here and there, like the power windows don't work so great, but it's a runner. It's a great car. It's super fun to drive. It just pulls. So good. Toyota Corona, I think it's like an 82 or so. It's a wagon, man. It's a Toyota wagon. Rear wheel drive even. awesome. I'd love to like do something with that car, but that's pretty far off in the future. I dig wagons, low and long. It's beautiful. This is my grandfather's old car. It's a Cadillac Eldorado with a North Star V8 in it, 32 valve, I think it is. Either way, it's a North Star V8. It's about 300 horsepower, and it is awesome. Yeah, 32 valve North Star motor. Now, these have kind of a bad rap, the North Star motors do, because they did weird stuff with the materials on the top end of the motor, and like the valve covers just kind of rot off of them. Super weird. But it's kind of a nice car. It doesn't need to be here anymore. It's gonna go away soon, but it's kind of a nice car. Now when we go back here, the treasures. The treasures, y'all. Oh, the treasures, unbelievable. So over here we got a Z. Actually, let's take a look at this one, because I didn't actually know about this one until just now. I mean, I knew it existed, but I didn't know what it was exactly. But this one's kind of special because this was one of the first cars to come into this country. It's one of the first Z cars to come to this country. It's a 69. First year the car came here, as told by the 240Z on the side here. Usually it just says Z. And vents under the windows here, under the back right here. That's how you know that the car is an early car and not one of the later ones, which ultimately doesn't really matter, but it's just a little bit of nerdism for you guys. We go over here and look at the burgundy car. You see that there's no vents under the windows, and it says Z here and not 240Z. So, the more you know. So there's that car. Another first gen RX-7 that we use for parts. That's a 280Z, that's my brother's car. Over here next to it is another 280Z. Because we do Z cars, they literally just make their way to our property. That car was literally dropped off by somebody who was like, you know what? Getting out of it, don't want to do it anymore. Here, have all my stuff. So we have a whole pallet and a half or two of parts, and we got that car with it. Moving on here, in the Isuzu iMark, I can bet you money you've never seen one of those in your entire life. And I can guarantee you've never seen one like this, because it's a diesel. It is a 4-cylinder, non-turbo Isuzu diesel. It's crazy. It's crazy. This was, again, my grandfather's car. He liked gas mileage as well. And so he had this thing, and it got great gas mileage. It's kind of a dumpy, weird-looking car, but the air conditioning worked and everything. It's bizarre. But that was kind of a cool car. And there at the end, before it got parked, the exhaust rotted off the thing, and so we straight piped it. Because what else are you gonna do when you don't want to spend money on a car? You straight pipe it. This thing, it got parked for various reasons. It's really not a super reasonable car to drive. Parts are beyond impossible to find. These cars are just not around anymore. But you know what? If you put a battery in it, the thing would probably start now because it was dead reliable, as diesels usually are. So that's kind of a weird little piece of history. And on to this car and this car. These are Nissan Sentras. They're both Nissan Sentras. One's an 82, one's an 83, I believe. But they're both two-doors. They are like the first Sentra Nissan ever made. And I can also guarantee you've never seen these before, because these are both diesel cars. They put diesels in these tiny little cars, and it's a small car. It is a tiny, it is a very small car. You're never gonna be able to get the perspective, I suppose, but it's a very small car. So, they're also kind of dumpy and weird looking, but that's the 80s, that's how it goes. But anywho, that is just a quick tour of how I grew up and what it's like to be in the Deffenbaugh household. I'm gonna have to cut that out because I don't want to have my name in this. And so that's what it's like to live around here. That's how I grew up, is stuff like that, hanging out in the backyard, and that's just the way that it was. And I've been talking for about 9 minutes now, so I apologize for that. One more thing, over my shoulder here is a Suzuki Samurai and a second generation RX-7. Just another part of how I grew up. This Samurai is a magic vehicle. The battery never goes flat. It never really needs oil somehow. I mean, it would go legit. We ran it like once a year, and we would get into it. Battery's still hot, turn the key, fuel gets the carburetor, fires right off, and it's running. wild, wild. I actually have hopes to get that vehicle myself because it works great. 4-wheel drive works great. It's rustiest car I've ever seen, but runs like a top. In any case, I've been talking for almost 10 minutes now, so if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I just thought it might be kind of fun to show you guys a little bit about my lifestyle and what feels normal to me. I find it interesting. I wish I could have taken you into this trailer here because this is where the real gold is, but the race car is in there, and so the race car that I grew up watching my dad drive is in there, so that's a good one. But in any case, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. This is a filler episode. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. These are the things that you do when you want to drive race cars and you have to do it on a budget. In the next video, I will be doing a lot more work on something totally different and totally new, and my parts are here for that now, so hopefully I will be able to get that done and I will be able to get that uploaded at the next one. In any case, find me in between videos on The.Daily.Racer at Instagram. Nope. In any case, find me in between the videos on Instagram at The.Daily.Racer. I post there a lot in between videos of all the work that I'm doing, all just the sort of different things that I do. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see some more. I will see you guys in the next one.